Alright, so my identity has been stolen, and also my physical, identifying documents have also been stolen. My birth certificate, my social security card, my driver's license, which I've already explained in other videos. I do have a crappy copy of my birth certificate. That's the only identifying document that I have. The feds, government, whatever, have some other bitch using my fucking identity, or the identity that I was given, this LaDonna Cross identity. I'm not sure if that's really who I am, or if that's somebody else's name that I was given at birth, and I don't know what happened to LaDonna Cross. I have no fucking idea. I don't know if that's my real name, or if I have an additional name that I've never been told of, or told about, that might be affiliated, like as an adopted kid or a kidnapped kid. I have no idea what's going on there. I do know that someone else has been basically assigned to use my identity, and they have committed so much fraud in my name that I can't use a Cash App card, I can't use a fucking Venmo card. They just had, I don't even know if I can use a PayPal card. I can't use any of the prepaid cards that you would go up and pick up from Walmart. Fraud has been committed in my name, and even with my social security number, with all those cards. Meta tells me that I'm not allowed to send or receive money through Messenger at all because of the sheer amount of crime that has been committed, I guess, through my accounts with Meta, with Meta money type stuff. I have to figure out every single day how I'm gonna eat. There's no way that a person is just gonna be able to survive off of the expired, unhealthy crap food that's handed out by, whatever groups or homeless shelters, or half-assed churches out there who want to pretend that they're helping the homeless or the trafficking crisis. And I can almost guarantee you that there's not one church out there that's really putting a dent in it in any way. They're all getting out pretending to be Christian, and they're handing out expired food, and they're acting like they do their best. They have homeless people show up sometimes, and they'll have stuff set up so that the homeless people can eat, and they're putting weird shit in the homeless people's foods, and then they're going around to the tables while those people are still eating and spraying stuff and cleaning off the tables, getting spray all in their foods, and just discriminating against them in all different ways. And not everyone is homeless just because they're a junkie alcoholic. There's plenty of people out here who are trafficking victims and who have been forced out into the streets. Their whole lives and families have been taken away from them, just like me. So, you guys get to watch me count out, since, the no feds or law enforcement or anyone can handle this issue with my identity being stolen, and with all this fraud being committed in the name that I have, and because I'm not allowed to work, because I don't have anyone who will let me use their address on an ID or a driver's license. So that means that I'm just not allowed to work, I guess. And so, I'm not allowed to make money like everyone else. I'm not allowed to drive a car like everyone else. I'm not allowed to carry a driver's license like everyone else. Every time that I try, they have me robbed of it, because apparently they've set someone else up to be me, and she's doing a real good job practicing doing that, while she turns around and tells everyone else that I am copying her. Yeah, that I'm impersonating the person who is impersonating me. It's really annoying. So, look, I have a pretty good bit amount here, actually. Pretty good. I could at least go in and maybe get something for $1 or $2 to eat. I'm not really sure what that's going to be. I'm really trying not to just eat sweets. Sweets is something that I feel like people are literally trying to kill me with. Everywhere I go, and it's just gone on my whole life basically, but most especially during the human hunting games, just people trying to push candy on me. Just soda, candy, pizza, it's just stupid shit, unhealthy shit. It's not really pizza anymore as much as it is sugar. Just people trying to push sugar. The people who pull over to try to, like, whenever I'm fortunate enough to be in a place where I can hold a sign and beg for help, people just pull up and give me all this sugar. Just sugar. Some kids did that the other day. I'm not necessarily talking about them. I'm not saying that they weren't part of the whole bullying ordeal, but just sugar. I have to give away so much sugar. There's a kid a couple doors down. There's people who are hungry all around me, and I just take all the sugar overload that everyone gives me. I'm not sure why any homeless person would need that much sugar. Why you guys can only hand us sweets, that's kind of weird, but just sugar. And if it's not sugar, then it's some kind of fried shit. It's some kind of trash ass fried shit, some fucking french fries or fried chicken shit, fried whatever, fried food. And I don't want to eat fried food. I don't want to just eat sweet shit and fried food and walk around in the heat and just have sweat and stank pouring out of me from all the weird fucking shit that I'm given to eat. I don't just fucking eat shit, okay? I have to eat real fucking food in order to function and survive. Protein, vegetables, fruit, shit like that. I haven't fucking even seen fruit and I don't even know how long. It's fucking highly frustrating. But I don't entirely know how to accept help from people over YouTube unless we actually meet in person somewhere. You know what I mean? That's basically the only way that I know how to accept help from you. You can help by letting people know that I exist, since it's such a fucking secret. You can pray for me. I don't know. I'm just trying to express to you guys how difficult it is, and I've been out here for years. I was told that someone was going to show up and help me with this identity issue and give me information or help in some way, and that help has never come. That's never arrived. And, you know, I have to come up with ways to, you know what I mean, go knock on people's doors and beg if I can clean trash out of their yard, or, you know what I mean, whatever else I can potentially possibly fucking do to make money so that I don't begin to starve and get weak. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily like super thin and starving to death or anything like that. It's gonna take a second, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm hungry right fucking now. You know, I was hungry all yesterday, all the day before. I finally figured out that I could get one of those nasty pulled pork sandwiches, which I don't even like to eat pork, from Walmart for $2.50. So I went and I was able to at least get that. I had $3 for 2 days. Was trying to figure out how I was going to eat for 2 days with $3. And I finally broke down and got a pulled pork sandwich just because it said that there was fucking however many grams of protein on it. And I'm just dying for protein out here. People keep handing me sugar. They're like, here's some sugar, here's some grease, while you have to, you know, you have to maneuver around out here. It's over 100 degrees and you can't get rides. You know, nobody's gonna fucking interact. They've completely shut down my ability to interact with anyone on Facebook, not through. So yeah, the bad guys actually chased me down out of New Mexico to destroy the last car that I bought, which they successfully destroyed the distributor in Florida. It was a car that was perfectly fine. It was a 99 Infiniti, 4-wheel drive. It had big nice tires and stuff, and my boss, Sandy Reynolds, in Taos, New Mexico, poisoned me with aquatic fish tank cleaner. And then she and that sheriff who helped kidnap my kid, Sheriff, what is her name? I've got her name on here. And in various places. They messed up the distributor in my Infiniti. They literally followed me down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, where they sabotaged my car, rendering me on foot. It didn't have air conditioning in it anyways, but I could have just paid to have that fixed or whatever. But that's not the first car that I've been sabotaged out of. This whole thing, all of the efforts and crime that everyone has committed, everything that everyone has done in this situation to try to help the bad guys and to try to get rid of me, while someone else is using my identity, it's rendered me completely like how am I supposed to get an ID while you guys are having me trafficked and you make sure that there's no one around me who will help me with anything? I'm not allowed to get help with anyone on using their address on my ID. If I can't have an ID without a fucking address on it, and I can't use any address, that means that I can't have a fucking ID. It means that I can't fucking drive a car. It means that I can't work. I can't even walk into a fucking strip club. I can't do anything. I couldn't even use my ID. I can't even use my ID to get into hotels. I can't use my ID to buy weed from a fucking dispensary. I don't have a fucking ID. You guys fucked up my motherfucking identity, and no one is doing anything to help me correct that. And I've been suffering, unable to work. The Constitution, civil rights that everyone else has somehow doesn't fucking apply to me at all. I'm not allowed to have any life. I'm not allowed to make any fucking money. I don't have any real help. My entire family are fucking traffickers. Everyone that I've ever known is part of that. They're part of a child trafficking network. It's not really that smart for me to be hitting them up and asking them for help. What exactly do you expect me to go do? If I go to a shelter and ask them for help, they're run by traffickers, and they'll have me run out of there. They'll have me set up, they'll have me bullied, they'll have me poisoned. If I bring any food or drink back to the shelter, it will be poisoned. I'm not sure what in the motherfuckers really expect me to do. I'm not going to be a fucking prostitute for you. I'm not going to make pornography. I realize that that's what you guys want me to do because you already made illegal pornography of me, and you already have someone who's illegally signed consent forms to that. I have never consented to anything like that. And as a trafficking victim, as a lifelong slave, I would not have been able to consent to anything like that really lawfully, okay? Things were bad before you guys fucked up my identity thing. It's especially bad now. Like I said, I can't even go to a Walmart, and buy a prepaid card, one of those prepaid Visa or MasterCards or whatever, and beg the world for help, to send me help. And I can't really be using, what is that? I can't really be using my buddy's Cash App card and say, hey, if anyone wants to help me out, just send it to my buddy's Cash App card. Not that I have a buddy. I don't even have a friend. So that's not going to work out very well. And also, if I put someone else's card information up and their cards and information get hacked the way that mine do, then I'll be responsible for what happens to them. And I don't want to be responsible for this happening to anyone else. It's gonna be 103 fucking degrees today in Texas. That's why I'm wearing this long sleeve shit. When I do leave, I'll have to literally wrap myself. I'll have to take a fucking umbrella with me. I'll have to take a hand towel with me, or a towel. I'll have to be completely covered from head to toe. Otherwise, I will burn. I mean, burn, severely burn. And I'll get exhausted. I'll get heat exhausted. I'll start to get sick. And I'll have to crawl back to this hotel room where really the coolest I can get it is 76 degrees. That's how hot it is. And it's just this poor little, it's one of those little air conditioners. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, human traffickers affiliated with the Freemasons. Oh, hang on, I gotta move this too. Human traffickers affiliated with the Freemasons got this room for me for the week. I at first thought that I was going to be working for them a little bit to pay them back, but they got the room for me, and then they came in. It was a dude and his old lady, and they were hanging out with me, and it was all cool. And I'd made it clear several times that I didn't want certain things to be done in here, and that I don't allow certain things to be smoked around me. And that I go to bed at night. And it's important to me what time that I go to bed at night. I don't like fucking staying up late. Because, well, I'm not going to explain that part, but I care about my health. I care about actually being able to function and not lose entire fucking days. So I'm not trying to stay up late. I'm not trying to stay up late and party. Those are adults who are older than me. If they wanted to hang out, they could wait until the fucking daytime and hang out, and then go the fuck home and go to bed like they probably should. But anyways, they got me this room. They immediately used it to fuck with me, to try to set me up, to energy harvest off of me, and they were loud as fuck in the parking lot and retarded, and by 2 o'clock in the morning I had to literally fucking make them leave. And that's how I got this fucking room paid for, which is kind of fucked up. Then everyone knew that I'd gone out and I'd worked on yards, and that I'd made $38, and that I'd spent a couple of those dollars in United, and that I had roughly 35 bucks left. Okay, and so because they're Freemasons, and because I survived their setup, and wasn't in jail the next morning, which apparently the management wasn't expecting either, because she'd already cut my key off and everything. Like, dude paid for the entire week, but the key got turned off the next day because they just expected me to go to jail or get kicked out that very night, because he either didn't really foot the bill, or he paid the part of it, and then if everybody could have got me kicked out of here really fast, then they could have made extra money for the week and made twice as much off of this room. But what happened was the management showed up here the very next morning saying that I still owed $33 on my bill for the week. So I had $35 to eat off of over the course of the next few to several days, and I had to hand that $33 of it over to her, and that was the way that the Freemasons basically let me know that they were responsible for all of the attacks against me the night prior, and you know what I mean, or the week for the week that I've been here basically, and that they're the ones who bought me this room. So there's no telling what they could be sending through the ventilation, or through that space under the door there, or you know, there's no telling what they could be coming in and doing in here to me, or no telling what their plans are for me this week, because they don't just do nice things like that to help while they're having us trafficked and actively trying to have us put away, locked away. They would like for me to be locked up or dead. And that has been what I've been living through for the last at least 15 years. And it's been way longer than that, but I'm just going to tell you guys the 15-year part of it, because that's just the story behind this last 15 years. Before that, it was a different story. It was just as bad. It was still terrible. Still horrific. They've basically had me treated like complete dog shit my entire life. I have been, they made me a sacrifice to their child-eating demon god, and they have attempted to sacrifice me and have sacrificed me in multiple different ways. Just because of the grace of God, just because of God, am I still standing to this right now, to this day. I mean, if it weren't for God, I wouldn't be here right now, because most certainly there was no law enforcement agency or anyone on the planet who gave a single fuck about my kids or I, and no one was going to step up for us at all. They've all sat back and just allowed all of this fucking shit to go down the way that it has. Looking for my little necklace that I'm used to messing with. So yeah, I've been here, and in the time that I've been here, I've made a report that was so outstanding that, and I continue to do that, to speak up and to basically solve entire fucking cases, and everyone just sits back and acts like they can't fucking do anything about it because they're making so much money off of people getting trafficked or whatever. So that's fucking irritating. I really don't want to just have to walk around with my eye covered all the fucking time. That's gonna fuck my eye up. Basically, I have to go back and forth with it, and on really hot and sweaty days, I mean, your eyes pour around your eyelids and everything, just pour sweat in your eyes. It's terrible. You can't even hardly use it on like really hot days, or you can, but just for a little bit, and then you have to keep taking it off and cleaning it, or have something underneath it. It's fucking horrific. Right now, I'm in a huge state it's a huge, great state, but they're somehow too ignorant to legalize marijuana here. It's a huge state. They could really be banking, I mean, absolutely banking on cannabis here. But they choose to just sit around, you know, with the thumb up there and just take their sweet old time harassing people for, you know, I don't know, having them trafficked. They take I guess they just sit around and just have people trafficked, and that's what they do here. So, I mean, they can't have pot because that would provide relief for trafficking victims, and people would be less likely to get trafficked if they had something other than the meth that law enforcement provides to them. So, can't have weed legal here in Texas because that would just fuck up the whole human trafficking system that you guys have. So that's really ignorant. Yeah, so if we want to be cannabis users, we have to go live in weed legal states where they have sense enough to have fucking dispensaries and shit. But honestly, the dispensaries are shitty too. It's a plant. We should all be allowed to grow and use and distribute however the fuck we want, just like all the other plants. So that's fucking annoying. So yeah, on top of being trafficked, being hungry, not having a vehicle, not having any way to receive money, not having any support whatsoever, having no moral support basically whatsoever, having what feels like the entire fucking world ignoring me, I also can't fucking smoke pot. So that's fucking really annoying. Or, you know, I can, but it would require someone actually having it. And since everyone is on meth because they're not allowed to use pot here, that ends up being something that's difficult to find. So Texas has made it so that basically the one thing that's completely, that there's an overflow of, and the one thing that's readily available for everyone is meth. Because they would like for everyone to be homeless, meth users, trafficked on the streets. They need as many people as possible turning to prostitution and sex trafficking. And they don't really care about, apparently they don't really care about the well-being and the mental and the spiritual and physical aspects of people's health and lives. They apparently have no fucking concern for that at all here in the state of Texas. They're also really good, and well, this applies to everywhere, at taking reports and pretending like that report was somehow outstanding, but really they just plan on sweeping it under the rug and pretending they didn't even fucking hear it. For being a really big, beautiful state, Texas is incredibly corrupt. It's one of the worst trafficking states that there is. It's one of the worst methy trafficking states ever. Actually, it was here in Texas where I began to learn about human trafficking the most, and about how, you know, they'll take the bodies, take people's living and dead bodies and put them in toolboxes and move them around, all different trunks and toolboxes and little spaces that they'll have to hide bodies in that, like, I didn't even know that shit. So anyways, yeah, I'm somebody who's been on the streets for fucking years now, as people have told me that help was on the way, and help was, I guess, definitely not on the way yet. It's like a fucking snail could have made it across the country in the amount of time that I've waited for law enforcement to fucking help. So yeah, I have no way to receive money. I don't want to get arrested for flying a sign here in Texas. I can't prostitute myself or sell images or videos or live stream of myself online because my parents and federal agents already exploited me online, and even like horrific grape snuff videos that they made of me with all intentions of 86ing me. Yeah, they have someone signed, forged consent forms for that. So I can't even sell myself on, you know, one of the websites, you know, dancing around, and, you know what I mean? I can't even do that. Like, literally, my ways of making money are just very weird, like weird things, like not hi, I'll clean all the broken glass out of your driveway for $5. You know, okay, so that's what it boils down to. I could make some you know, things that say, oh, hey, this is me, this is my number, you know, I'm available to help with cleaning, cooking, and that sort of thing, and you know, that's probably what I'm going to have to do, but then that sets me up to where no matter what condition I'm in, because I'm not always going to be in a hotel, it sets me up to no matter what condition I'm in, I'm going to have to go to somebody's house, and I'm going to have to do the same slavery work that I'm trying to get the fuck away from, the same slave work that everyone is making fun of me for and setting me up to do. That people don't really give a fuck about. They'll fuck this shit up before I even get there, then they'll have me clean it, and they'll fucking give me hardly anything for doing anything, and it's just fucking, it's this fucking slavery trash. They're like, oh, this is a slave, so if she wants the money to pay her phone bill, she's gonna have to clean all this dog shit out of these people's fucking garage. And that's the kind of fucking work that people will give me. They'll give me the lowest of the fucking lowest work, because how dare I open my mouth and try to expose a child trafficking ring? How dare I open my mouth and try to fucking ask people to rescue my child who was kidnapped? How dare I? Cool, yeah, so this is me, and I'm really hungry right now, and I could really use some help with money and food and things like that, and I don't really have too many people, or there's not really anyone for me to ask help like that from. A homeless guy gave me $5 yesterday so that I could eat. And I went and spent that on 2 hamburger patties and a piece of cheese, because I don't want to eat all your fucking bread and sugary dumb shit and fucking fried shit. Even though, yes, the hamburger patties were grilled, were fried on something. It's not the same as having something deep fried. Alright, yeah.